Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you some Halloween DIYs. And I know it is super early for Halloween, but when you find this stuff at Dollar Tree, you gotta buy it. So I found these cute little potion bottles. All I'm gonna do with these is use some eye hooks that I purchased off of Amazon. I'm gonna go ahead and screw them onto the little cork stops on top, and we are gonna make it just a little garland. So just going to quickly add some glue to the corks so they don't slip out when you string them through your jute. And as I was watching this back, I thought it'd be cute to add some string lights to like the top of the cork. I have a second set of these, so I might give it a shot. So once I get these all glued in, I'm going to go ahead and screw in the eye hooks. We'll string it through some jute and then we'll be all done. Next up, I picked up the ceramic book type decor. I'm going to go ahead and start off with a coat of black in the color ink from Waverly Chalk Paint. Once that coat dries, I'm going to grab a sponge and I'm going to go ahead and start sponging on some brown paint. It's the color Truffle from Waverly Chalk Paint. So my goal here was to get a very grungy look, so you are going to see me go back and forth with colors. I decide on one color and then I decide I don't like it, so you'll see me go back and forth. So here I'm going to start sponging on some white paint, which is the color Ivory in Waverly Chalk Paint. So as soon as I allow this to dry, I then decide to grab my rub and buff and paint in the labels. But I don't like that I didn't have a crisp line on the edges, so I quickly changed my mind on this. So then I decide I'm going to grab some ivory paint and I'm going to dry brush over all these colors. I end up grabbing a bigger brush just to get a more heavier dry brush. I do like the dimension that all the colors add, so I think I end up being happy with it after the dry brush. So on this label, I'm going to spell out the word spell. I didn't have enough space to put the S at the end, so I just left spell. I did pick up these letter stamps from the Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago, and I also picked up the stamping block, which I use on the next clip to add the letters on the binding of the books. So next, on the next book, I'm going to spell out the word Venom using the stamping block from Dollar Tree, which it just gives you more control over your stamp, and it also has the grid on it, which lets you know the placement of your stamps. Overall, I think it's pretty good, but I think it's just preference. So then I'm going to add the word spider on the front of the book using the smaller version of the stamps that I also picked up at Dollar Tree. Next up, I'm going to use this tag that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It's one of those galvanized ones. I had done a previous DIY on it that I didn't like, so I went ahead and glued on this mold from the IOD Molds frames. I'm going to give it a coat of Truffle from Waverly Chalk Paint and then let it dry. I used a paintbrush that had some brown on it, so I end up switching it up here. I'm going to give it a dry brush with some Ivory Chalk Paint just to bring out some of the detail. Out of all the DIYs in this video, this is actually my favorite. I actually love how it comes out. This DIY is actually one of my favorites out of this video. Dollar Tree in these seasons coming up for Halloween, fall, Christmas, they just have some really good crafting supplies, so I'm always up in there checking what's new. So in the comments, let me know which one was your favorite. So here I'm just adding some rub and buff to the details of the frame and to the edges on the inside of the frame. Then using this transfer from Dollar Tree, which I think these were out last year. I just didn't get my hands on any, so I was super excited to find these. I'm going to make sure that the center of my frame is really dry, so I'm going to use my heat gun. If it's not dry, it's just going to be difficult to stick the transfer on. So I'm going to go with this little haunted house scene here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So using my little IOD tool that comes with their transfers, I'm going to go ahead and start putting pressure on it, lifting it from one corner and slowly transferring it over to the frame. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of shadowing just to the edge of the frame, just for a little added touch. Then I'm just going to add a little hanger with some ribbon that I had on hand, and then I'll add a little bow and then we'll be all done. Next, using these leather sheets I picked up, I'm gonna make a little garland just to go behind the little apothecary garland. So I'm gonna start out by tracing these witch hat cutouts. And as you can see, I didn't have enough for the 4 witch hats, so all I do is fill the ends in with some black paint. So I start out gluing them with this glue stick that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, thinking that my hot glue would just burn through the fabric, but I didn't quite like how it bonded, so I did go in with some hot glue and it did just fine. Then using these pumpkin cutouts that I picked up last year at Dollar Tree, I'm going to go ahead and paint them white. I'm going to add the little hats to the top of these pumpkins. And before doing this step, I would actually paint them all black on the back, just in case they do show. I'm gonna have them in a cabinet to where I didn't think they would show, but the way I have them hanging, I could still see the light color wood, so I may go back in there and paint them black. Then I just freehanded some little cute faces on them. I'm not an artist here. I just kind of do my best, and these are just gonna hang in a cabinet, so I don't think they need to be perfect. I think they came out super cute. And as always, using my Distress Oxide, I went ahead and aged them on the edges. I also add some crackle using my IOD stamp textures, I believe. And again, just thank you guys so much for being here. If you like what you see, please subscribe and follow for more. I know it's a bit early for Halloween, but this just gives you time to go out to Dollar Tree and buy some craft supplies if you see something you want to recreate. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.